NHL training camps are back up and running, and I've got one question for each of the New York metropolitan area teams. Let's get into it. Well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Wa2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. Man, we've been doing so much football content as of late. I think it's time to do a little bit of hockey. Let's switch it up a little bit. And with NHL training camps opening this week, the hockey season is coming, and it is coming fast. I wanted to take a quick moment and do a quick preview on the Rangers, the Islanders, and the Devils, and talk about what the biggest question I feel is for each of these teams as their training camp begins and the season starts in just a few short weeks from now. Now, I'm going to start with the New York Islanders. My question for that franchise is this: are they satisfied with mediocrity? I really wonder if they are. You know, the Islanders had a couple of very good seasons where they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They remind me actually a little bit of the New York Jets from the Rex Ryan days, where 2 straight years they get to the conference championship round, ultimately fall short, and then they just seem to take a big step back. Now, I look at the Islanders offseason, and a lot of it was about maintenance. You know, they kept Ilyasorokin. They signed him to a long-term contract. Fantastic goalie. Absolutely a move they had to make. They now have a full season of bohorvat at center, who they acquired from Vancouver. But I'll tell you what, this division is loaded, this Metropolitan Division. I don't know if the Islanders have done enough to make a move to become playoff contenders again in this season. I mean, let's think about it. Carolina, they've got Andrei Svechnikov coming back from a knee injury. They signed Dmitry Orlov on defense, Michael Bunting at forward. You know, Pittsburgh made a very sexy trade to get Erik Karlsson to bolster their defense. New Jersey kept a lot of their own players. The Rangers made some cheap but very intriguing signings, and they have a very good core. The Islanders, well, I don't know. Zachparise, he's away from the team right now. He's quote-unquote contemplating his future, and the 39-year-old was actually their third leading scorer last season. No word if and when he will ever return to the game. The Islanders also traded joshbailey to get some salary cap space. To me, the Islanders look like the 5th or 6th place team in the Metropolitan Division, and that is just not enough. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't for ilyasorokin, they'd be heading straight for the cellar in this division. So I wonder if the Islanders are satisfied with just being in the mix for that last playoff spot, or do they actually have their sights on eventually trying to win a Stanley Cup? You gotta wonder about it. Now, I'm going to go to the New York Rangers next. Now, I would have this question. It is peterlaviolette, the one thing that they really needed to take this team over the top. Now, this includes not just playoff results, but getting these kids, these top young prospects, to take the steps they need to make. Of course, I'm talking about alexislafreniere, about kaapokakko, you know, even like a Keandre Miller or a Filipino. Braden Schneider even. You know, what is the ceiling on these players? And can Laviolette and this whole new coaching staff with Phil Housley and Dan Muse, can they extract the most? And Michael Pekka, I don't want to forget him. Can they get the most out of these players? Right now, according to Laviolette in his first press conference, he will try Lafreniere on the right wing. I think that makes a lot of sense because when you have artemipanarin and chriskreider ahead of you, there's not a lot of opportunity to get a whole lot of minutes. So I like the idea of giving it a try. Hopefully Kakko or Lafreniere can take that number 1 right wing spot. Hey, in an ideal world, I think Lafreniere would be on the left and Kakko would be on the right of mikazibanejad. But I don't know if that's quite going to happen. Now, one thing I do like about Laviolette and this coaching staff, and we've done videos on this in the past, they really emphasize skating. And too often the Rangers, while they have players who have good hands, good shots, good vision, their skating has not always been up to par. That was one of the biggest advantages the Devils had against them in that playoff series last season. I may have ranted on that a little bit. You could check that rant out in the archives. It got quite a bit of attention. So let's see what the identity really is of the New York Rangers. I am personally happy to have Laviolette in at coach as opposed to Gerard Gallant. But I think the Rangers have a roster that can make a huge run in the playoffs. But is Laviolette the right coach? We're going to find out, and I think we're going to find out this year. Now, as far as the New Jersey Devils go, I wonder where they are mentally. Can they handle prosperity? Can they handle high expectations? Every single hockey prognosticator and podcaster and writer and fan is kissing their collective fannies, basically saying, it's Carolina, New Jersey, clearly 1-2 for the Metropolitan Division lead, and let's see which one emerges. Carolina at least has a track record of making the playoffs for years and having really, really good regular seasons. I know the Devils have a very good young core in place. I'm not knocking that. Tylertoffoli is going to be a very good addition at forward. It'll beef up their depth. I still wonder if Vanacek and Schmid are going to be enough at goaltender. Great. You took a series from the Rangers. Congratulations. That's not going to be enough this season. Their fans are going to expect what? Conference finals at the very minimum, I would think. So, teams are going to be gunning for them. They're not going to be caught off guard by this core. They've seen guys like Hischier and Brad. Everyone knows Jack Hughes already. But now the Devils will not be overlooked by anybody. And I wonder if this team is going to be mentally strong enough, if Lindy Ruff is going to give them the guidance they need to continue to prosper and have a second straight season that could be as great as it potentially could be. I personally don't know what they do. I think the Devils are getting a little bit too much hype. Just a little bit too much hype. I think they'll be very good, but let's not anoint them on the level of the Carolina Hurricanes already. Well, those are my questions for each of the three Metropolitan teams. I will be doing a more in-depth review on the Rangers and previewing their season. But if something big comes out with the Islanders and Devils, we'll certainly make videos on that as well. Reminder, join me every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern for Wednesday Night Live. Going to be a whole lot of Jets talk going on. Maybe a little bit of Giants, but we got a whole bunch of things to talk about. But thanks, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you right back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.